This is the story of Kaduna State Massacre that took the life of many and wiped out different villages in Kaduna State. So, armed men entered the village at night and killed many people. They also burnt houses, forced families to run for their lives, and by morning, several people were dead. Many were injured and others had been taken away. What was once a peaceful community became silent and empty. Now, how did this happen? So it started on a normal night. The villagers had finished their day work, farmers returned from their farms, children played earlier in the evening, and families ate dinner together, and later everyone went to bed as usual. There was no sign of danger. No warning, nothing. But while the village was asleep, a group of armed men were already close by. They came from surrounding forest area. These men are often called bandits. They usually move in groups and carry guns. That night, they had plans. They waited until everywhere was quiet. No movement, no noise. Then they entered the village quietly and slowly. At first, nobody noticed them until the shooting started. Gunshot broke the silence of the night. People woke up suddenly, confused and scared. Some thought it was far away, but it wasn't. The attackers were already inside the village, and within minutes, everything changed. The men began moving from house to house. They broke doors and entered homes, and anyone who tries to escape was in danger. Some people were shot, some were dragged out, others ran into the darkness, not even knowing exactly where to go. Then the burning started. Houses were set on fire. The flames spread quickly, light up the village to make sure that they see clearly to know whosoever is trying to run away. Families were separated immediately. Children got lost. Some people hid in the bush while others kept running through the night. And by the time attack slowed down, the damage has already been done. After the attack, one question remained in everyone's mind. Why did this happen? And why were they doing it? The men who carried out this attack are known as bandits. They operate in forest areas around parts of northern Nigeria and often target villages like these ones. Villages who are not that big or not that populated. Their main goal is usually money. They attack, kill, kidnap some people, and even demand ransom for some families. In some cases, these attacks are also linked to long-standing local tension, like dispute over land, grassland, and community differences. But for the victims, the reason doesn't change anytime. The pain is the same. On that night, some villagers were not just attacked, they were taken, kidnapped. Men, women, even children were forced into the bush by the attackers. Later, their families would receive calls demanding large amount of money for ransom before they can be released. So, by the morning time, the village looked completely different. Houses were already burned, smoke everywhere, bodies lying down, people were lying down lifeless. There was so much silence in the village. Survivors slowly came out from where they had hid, inside bushes, behind walls, far from the village, and some were even injured. Some were in shock, and some were calling names of their loved ones, but no one to answer. They were nowhere to be found. They were already scattered. As the news spread, security forces and local authorities arrived. But for many villagers, it felt too late. The attackers had already left. Family began to count their losses. Some had lost parents, some had lost children. Others didn't even know if their loved ones were dead or alive. The survivors had a difficult choice to make. It's either they stay or they leave. Many choose to leave because they could not sleep in the same place where such horror happened. They moved to nearby towns and camps, becoming displaced in their own country. And just like that, a once peaceful village was no longer a home. Days passed, but the fear did not leave. The village was no longer the same. Where children once played, this was now in silence. Burnt houses stood like a reminder of what had happened. Some doors were left open as if the people ran out and never came back. For the survivors, life became something else. Sleep was difficult. Every small sound at night felt like danger. Even when there was no attack, the fear remained. Some families tried to return and rebuild, but many could not. How do you live again in a place where you lost everything? How do you sleep at night knowing it could happen again? And for those who lost their loved ones, the pain was deeper. No time to prepare, just sudden loss in one night. And for those who were kidnapped, their families waited, hoping, praying, trying to gather money so that they can release their loved ones to bring them back home and alive. Some returned and some never did. Even as security increases in some areas, the truth remains clear. Many villages like this are still vulnerable, still afraid, still unsure of what tomorrow will bring. This was not just an attack. It was a moment that changed lives forever. A night that people will remember for the rest of their lives. And the most painful part of it, for many communities across northern Nigeria, this is not just a story. It is a reality. Victims couldn't live to tell their story, but we will. I, your Digital Crime. And I'll see you guys on the next one.